Is this one?
You.
Yes.
You're welcome.
I was good by.
Yeah. See pretty today.
But I was like, I'm gonna, okay.
I'm good. How you doing?
How are you? That's good. Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Really good stuff.
Let's see.
Long as no one notices.
I do one.
And they've done some. I do, and
Oh, yeah.
Really chat about it. Yeah. Oh, Frank's Day, right? Not even sure if I don't know that I will. Maybe.
Okay. Just think about, like, this next month.
I'll make sure it's on his calendar.
Yeah. Perfect.
Lucky they know.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Been tracking that for 5 days.
And I don't understand.
That's been like the-
No, not this time.
Yeah. I still.
Oh, that's okay. We'll talk. I knocked it out.
Yeah, stuff like that. We do.
That's not.
Thanks. You,
But most of mine is.
Thanks for.
Be happy for clock towers. Leaks like crazy. Doing all these upgrade things that need to be done, things that should have been done.
Yes.
You have higher administration like with this. And so now we're gonna have to go.
Thanks.
So I got really, so I know, screw this. So we set up a,
That's just relative to the.
so that I would do a presentation with Cindy doing the project. And I invited the entire family. Everybody showed up. And so I looked at my judgment of all psychiatrists. I said, okay. It's not too bad.
Show starting here.
Well, they're paying to get places.
I get emails
We'll say no.
on my. And then I don't know where I came from. I just eyeball it.
And that was.
Sometimes what they do to post is they'll put the package on the edge of the road lower. It's dry shit now.
The other thing.
Yeah.
Get quiet. As it got quiet, I'll go ahead and start. I want to welcome you to today's meeting. I'm Gary Moore. I'm the Boone County Judge Executive and your chair. And welcome to everyone. I'm told we do have a quorum. It looks a little light, but there is a quorum. Let's begin with our pledge. If you'll stand with me, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. To introduce our guests that are with us today, we have a first timer who's also an old timer, or a long timer. Hey, that sounds better.
Yeah.
I'm excited to introduce Jack Couch. Jack probably doesn't need an introduction to most of you. But he is the new field rep for Governor Beshear for the Transportation Cabinet. Jack is former Trimble County Judge, former ad director, KIPTA ad, State Council of Ads, and I'm missing probably 10 other things. But in relation to ads, but Jack, do you want to say anything to us today?
I'm excited about being back to work. I took a little time off and I got a call from Transportation Cabinet that was open if I'd be interested. So here I am to serve you. And the thing that I like about my career path that I've taken so far is working for the people in all of our communities. So I'm looking forward to getting around to getting to all of your counties, meet with you mayors and judges, and hopefully we can see some good things at the end of the year we can reflect back on. Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Jack. I'm one that favors experience and knowledge, and you bring that to the table, and it's very valuable. So thanks for being with us, and congratulations on the position. We have Angie Kane with us from the governor's office, Megan Van Camper from Senator McConnell's office, and Nick, your city Berlanger?
That's correct.
Yes, Nick Keats. Do we have any other guests today? All right, well, welcome everyone. We do have a quorum. Approval of the agenda. Item number 4, do I hear a motion? Motion approved. Second. All right. And second, any discussion concerning the agenda? All in favor of approving it, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. We do have an approved agenda. So let's move on into the minutes. Item number 5. Hopefully you've had a chance to look at those. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion to approve minutes.
Good. Second from Katie. Any corrections, changes, or adjustments to the minutes? Hearing none. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Minutes are approved. Administrative, our ethics report. Joe, do you have anything to report to?
Happy to report all is ethical.
All right. Any discussion concerning that? No actions required there. Audit report. So Tara, you want to give the audit report?
I just wanted to let everyone know, you voted on the audit, in December. That had to make its way to the state auditor's office, which has approved it. And so it should be formally submitted either today or tomorrow. No changes were made. Just wanted to let you know it's not on our website yet because it's going through all that, those different bureaucratic pieces, but all is well.
No action needed today since we already did it.
Correct.
Next up, financial report.
Amanda, do you want to come up here with me? Great. So the best part of the financial report is that it is my absolute pleasure to introduce you to our new Director of Finance and Administration, Amanda. So yay. This financial report is a consolidated review of the activity for November. And then, you know, you might see slight changes to the reporting process process as we go forward, as Amanda gets her feed and says, maybe other things that she thinks you would like to know. But I can walk you through this briefly, and then certainly if you have any questions. As you can see, our total revenues year to date are just over not quite $21 million. So about 43% of the annual budget. So that's right on track since we're 42% finished with the year. As far as the specific call outs, federal is just a little bit low. We're going to talk about that just a little bit later, but states on track, local. You shall have, if you are an elected official or if you are maybe a city administrator or a clerk, you might have received your request from us for what we call the fair share payment. That's just been the name forever. It's kind of like membership dues to the organization. Every city, county, and special district within our 8-county region gets 15 hours of free service from the ad, no matter what. If you pay into fair share, you get an additional 15 hours on top of that. So that really adds up to a nice, research project or something of that sort for your community, or maybe a grant written. And so if you have questions about that, I have a list. It's been the invoices were sent just over a month ago. I think we're like 32 days or something of that sort. So if you didn't receive it, or if you did, but you have questions, please reach out to me and be happy to chat with you about that. It's calculated based on a per capita rate. The per capita rate has been the same way since my tenure. I'm not sure the last time it changed. It's based on per capita of your community. We did update it from the 2020 census to 2010, I guess, to 2020 census a couple years ago. But it should be the same rate as last year. If it's not, and you have questions about that, let me know too. And so we are looking hopefully to get those all in the next month or so. And that certainly appreciate the support. We use those dollars to match grants, things like local transportation grants. And then things that benefit your community. So like chamber memberships, newspaper subscriptions to each of county newspapers, things of that nature. So if you ever have any questions, happy to just discuss. I'm not gonna go over every single one of these, but generally speaking, revenues are on track. On the expense side, you'll see we're a little heavy in professional services. That's due to having to use Bramwell and Ackley more while our director of finance position was open. We did not get a temp. We chose not to do that. Often temps are just complex, especially in a finance role like ours. But we did lean on Bramwell to finish up the year close out in the audit, which is why that's a little high. We also have obtained a temp in our human resources position. And so that has been open. Actually, it's closed now, the human resources manager role. We received somewhere around 70 applications. Yeah, and while it's very easy, sometimes we're able to apply on things like Indeed. The way we do it, it gets posted to 7 different job sites. Many of them were highly qualified, so we're going through, Amanda and I, the interview process right now, and hope to have that hopefully filled by the end of the month. But lots of very qualified candidates, so including a temp who's doing a great job as well. So anyway, that's why professional services are on the higher side, but personnel is a little low because we had some openings, not just in those 2 roles, but throughout the organization. We've had a number of new hires come on board here in the last month. Moving forward, nothing really else out of the ordinary. Operating is a little high, I think, just for the percent of the year, and believe that is due to maybe Clay doing the laptops. I'm not sure, but anyway, we're still on track with the budget itself. So feeling good about that. Does anybody have any questions?
Amanda, you have anything you'd like to add?
I am gonna add a line item here, moving forward of in-kind matches. And I will look further into what we can, I guess, count as in-kind matches. So where I came from, it might be a little bit different, but hopefully that'll be a benefit for us as we apply for new grants and all that stuff moving forward. So you will see that line added back.
If you want to go to the next page just so people can see it. This was in your packet, but this is just the typical breakdown of the revenue that we've received so far. The bulk is state, with federal, and carryover being kind of the next two largest buckets. So, and then cash balance, AR, AP are all as expected. Interest rate still on our list to work on that interest rate, but we've had a little transition. So your treasurer here. So
You need a motion to approve the finances. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Or any discussion or further comment before we vote on approving the finance report? Hearing none, all in favor, aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Why don't we pause for just a second and give Amanda a chance. Tell the board a little bit about yourself or your background. She didn't know I was going to do this, by the way. But
Now, okay. So I guess as it pertains to the ad, I've been involved in nonprofit for right around 4 years, with federal streams, state streams, private funders, partnerships with other community agencies such as like United Way. So I have a pretty good background in the process to obtain the dollars, keep the dollars, report on the dollars, spend the dollars. So in the short 2 weeks that I've been here, it's just been a lot easier for me to kind of jump in and look at things like financials and the programs and have a pretty good understanding of what they mean and where I can help with changes, positive changes, not just with the ad, but even just my team in general. So.
all right. Continue on, ladies.
excellent. Just wanted to let you all know that due to federal policy changes, we do have a projected shortfall in one program. I mentioned this last month. I've been working on some strategy of how to deal with that with the executive committee. And so they have advised that we're going to have some one-on-one conversations at the county and city level. So be looking for me to reach out to you on that. We'll get it. I'm confident we'll be able to get it taken care of. Yes, sir.
Which program is that?
Commodities, so it's both TFAP and DSFP. So the USDA surplus foods program had some significant cuts that were in the news a while back. So then that means that the Kentucky Department of Agriculture is not getting their anticipated funds, which means they cannot fulfill their component of our contract. But we got a plan. I'll be making those calls. I think we should be able to figure out how to get it taken care of. Just want the board to know that that'll be going on.
And the plan would allow no interruption into the program itself. The food and the commodities would continue to flow to those in need.
Yeah.
And they qualify. So no interruption to the program. Just have to find ways to fund it.
Yeah, the food is not projected to be interrupted. It's just the administration. So things like utility costs, lease costs, things of that sort that are required to, have a place to keep the food. So, but yeah, we'll continue to make updates to the board as we move forward over the next months. But no action required on that one. Just want to make sure everybody knows what's up. If it's okay, I'll move on to procurement.
Yes.
So this board, I want to say in October, voted for a 3-phase approach to making use of our additional reimbursement rates for the Medicaid waiver program. Those rates, if you recall from October, were designed to provide our staff with higher wages in order for retention to take place. So we know that if a support broker is able to stay on a case, the outcomes for the client are better. Having that employee retention is really important. And so the state, acknowledging that, increased the reimbursement rates in order to have higher pay. This board approved, like I said, a 3-phase process. One was to do some reorganization of the org chart. So we've actually just completed that process. We have been able to promote 2 individuals into supervisory roles. Originally, one of our supervisors was personally supervising like 20 people. It's way too many direct reports. And so for quality assurance, we wanted to divide that out to have more supervisors, more direct contact for those support brokers so that they're getting the training and the direct feedback that they need to make sure that they're doing their best work. And so we were able to do that through these increased rates. The next step is we know that this program is continuing to grow. As a reminder, Medicaid waiver, it's different than income-based Medicaid. This is for individuals with permanent physical or developmental disabilities. But unfortunately, it does continue to grow. And so we have approximately 40 cases per support broker. And right now, we're on average adding one new support broker every 10 months or so. So we don't plan on building onto this building anytime soon. So we needed to reorg the space that we have for more efficiency. This proposal, I just want to commend Clay and Ann because they have spent a lot of time figuring out how we could better use the space that we have. So what we propose is taking the room that is currently for home care and which is a different program, and reorganizing it, getting new cubes that are a little smaller but taller, and putting more folks into that space. And so they did work on getting quotes. It's amazing to me how many companies don't want to give quotes. I really don't understand. But anyway, what you'll see here are estimates from the company based on the state master agreement. So these are procurement that was done by the state, right, for these services. So because we simply could not get them to call us back, we know that using the state master agreement will actually save us about $2,000. And we are in process of getting they have all the background RFP, so they've already done that. So we feel really comfortable with going in this direction. So this would include kind of all the things, the furniture removal, new furniture, new cube walls. As you can see on here, project labor, paint, carpet, because if you take off the cube walls, you're going to have to fix the carpet. You're going to have to run new cabling, kind of the whole thing. And the estimated project cost would be $79,104. So as with our administrative regulations require, once we have an RFP response, we come to you as board to vote on going forward with that RFP. And so in this case, it's the master agreement, but still moving action. We're requesting a motion to move forward with this project. We will be using the Medicaid waiver income to pay for the cost of the project.
Terry, I have one question about the furniture removal.
Yes.
That's $6,300 of the 79. Does that take care of the surplus in and all? Is that the proper way to dispose of it, or?
Yeah, it's a good question. If there are things that can be, we can do the thing where you like basically auction it or whatever. I think honestly, these things have been in this building since we, been in
I'm
here.
certainly not questioning that. I mean, but to pay them the 6,300 and they just take it away,
They take it.
that's an approved way of disposing of it.
I will double check before we do it, but that is my understanding because I don't think these are able to be repurposed at this point. They're
It's a
pretty
good
much at the
question,
end of their life.
because of declaring surplus property and disposing of it.
We will double check before we move forward with that component. If it is possible to surplus it, we will. So thank you for bringing that up, Mayor. But I would be shocked. They have been well worn over the years, but yeah, we'll check.
Yeah. And it may still wind up doing the same thing, but there may just be a procedural motion to declare it surplus property to be disposed of. Sometimes we have to do that at our level. So
If that's the case,
we're not saying it's worth anything or selling it. It would be more of a legality.
The work that you would put into trying to make $100 is not worth it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Any chance you want to throw that in the motion that you all approve disposing of that stuff?
You know,
I like that.
do you have a list of equipment yet? Like of the furniture?
It's, no, I don't think we do, Clay. do
That
we?
probably needs to be on a resolution with anything that has a serial number, need a serial number, or, you know, as much information. If it's an office chair with no information, it's probably gonna say office chair.
Yep.
If it's something got a make, model, you know, probably need that in the form of resolution for this
Bring that.
body.
Yeah, so when you make the motion, if you would include surplusing those items, and the list will be created through staff. You ready for a motion?
Tara, is that master agreement through finance and administration or what division?
It's the cabinet, it's the Kentucky cabinet for, I believe it is finance administration. Hold on one second.
Just curious, there's so many master service agreements that,
It's the,
Is it the one that's referred to as state contract price?
yes,
That's
I was looking to
it.
see if it's in that.
Before me.
So there's another new one, Sourcewell. Everybody's wanting to go that route.
It's not in the narrative, I apologize. It is the state finance cabinet. I just don't have the exact name in my head,
that's okay.
but yeah, it's the main one that you would consider to be like state procurement.
All right. Other questions and or motion?
Make a motion to proceed with the project and to also declare the list of, the forthcoming list of furniture and other supplies as surplus to be disposed of, even with no value.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Have the motion and a second. Further discussion? All in favor, aye? All opposed? Motion is approved. Let's keep going with administrative regulations.
All right, this was, something that we, the board actually approved, a pretty major update to administrative regulations, that involved, like, we had internal committee meetings of staff. We went through a board process, actually went through our attorney in 2024. This is more what I would consider to be a cleanup of that effort. There were just a few things. Specifically, when we do reimbursements for travel outside of the area for the purpose of training and conferences, we had a list of all the high per diem communities and a list of the rates. And so we wanted to change that to just say we're going with the state rate and whatever the current listing is for the state rate, because otherwise it feels like it's constantly changing and it's hard to keep up with that in an administrative manner. Once we started making those changes, there were just a handful of other kind of what I would consider to be just other handful of things. So for example, I added, we don't have to have this in our administrative regulations, but with the state procurement process, I did just mention in the administrative regulations that we added that we would, I added a definition of what that is, and then added that staff will ensure that the RFP background information is kept from those master agreements with the, any purchases that are used to that master agreement, just to make sure that it's really clear how we handle those things moving forward. Other updates are pretty minor. We did add some clarification around automobile transportation in area versus automobile transportation out of area. So for example, if someone finds themselves in another city and they got themselves there via either air travel or they rode with someone else, we didn't have any provision for someone taking like a Lyft or an Uber or a taxi. There was nothing in the administrative regulations about how those will be processed for reimbursement. So now it specifically calls out that a receipt is required, that you can take a screenshot of an app, things like that to just better reflect commonly used technologies. And the only other thing was the program income section somebody had tried to use their own words at some point to explain what program income was, and that was really inadequate. So we took that out and instead referenced that NKADD will ensure that all the words follow the relevant laws and regulations associated with each funding source related to program income, because every grant handles program income differently. It would really be quite impossible to list every single program income methodology in this document. Other than that, I believe that is the extent of the proposed changes. Does anyone have any questions for me?
Any questions, discussion, or a motion to approve?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. We have a motion and a second. Further discussion?
Tara, good job cleaning this up. I mean, you really condensed a lot of verbiage that was unnecessary. So anytime you guys do that, it's a great thing, I think.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. All opposed? That motion is also approved. Moving to programmatic, item 12, meal waiting list.
I'm just going to make a quick note. Not a lot has changed since the last time we met. We promised the board we would continue to give you updates on the meal waiting list. Right now, we've got about region-wide about 260 people on that waiting list. We are making progress working with groups like specifically St. Vincent de Paul. So for any individual who can't get out to get food, but they have the physical ability to prepare a meal if the food is brought to them, we are working with St. Vincent de Paul on potential for some meal delivery or food delivery that would tide them over while they were on the waiting list. They'd still join the waiting list, but just knowing that timing is going to take longer with the funding constraints. So we feel really good about continuing to work and leverage all of our regional partners. So we'll just keep you updated on things of that nature. I will just add, from a legislative standpoint, the governor's budget, sometimes it can be hard because it's so rolled up. You can't always necessarily see individual line items. So I just want to assure you that the governor's budget would propose funding the meal program at the same level as it is funded right now. That means it wouldn't necessarily handle the whole waiting list, but it would at least keep services constant, which we appreciate very much. And from what I've heard, the Kentucky Council of Ads, which Lisa's going to talk about later, their legislative list, but it does list a dollar amount on there that would allow for solid continuation of the program as well. A few lawmakers that I've spoken to just in passing have all said that they support senior meals and want to make sure that gets funded. So just a quick plug for, that's one that, as we're educating our lawmakers, it is a really critical safety net program for our homebound seniors. So appreciate the governor's support and appreciate the General Assembly hopefully continuing with that as well. Yes, Pat.
Providing any funding for St. Vincent Paul for the meals that they're providing? Is there a way to do that? They got all surpluses and
We
things.
do not have sufficient surplus, but they didn't ask for funding anyway.
I probably realize they probably do, but still. I mean, they're getting overwhelmed from a lot of different areas.
They have offered to partner with us in this way. So they actually welcome the opportunity to be able to get out in the community with specific asks. So we were pretty clear that there wasn't funding. But yeah. Okay.
Discussion.
Okay.
Keep going.
Okay, so that is all I have on that. So if it's okay, I can, Katie Jo and her entire team are sick. So it's going around. So you get me, it's kind of a tear day, I guess, with the clearinghouse. If you saw at your seat, originally when we sent out the packet, we had one fully completed clearinghouse application and one that came in the day that we sent the packet, and we knew it was coming. We've had two more come in since then, and so it's the pleasure of the board if you want to review those, but I figured I'd go ahead and go over them, and if you would like to approve them all, you are welcome to do so. Your blue packet is going to be what you want to look at. The first one is the Crittenden Nature Park. We have been working closely, Courtney's team has been working closely with the city of Crittenden on their nature park and application for a Land and Water Conservation Fund grant to do some construction there. They have been in close communication with them about these needs. And so as a reminder, when we have these come out, we receive the e-clearinghouse request. We review entities that could be potentially impacted. We contact those entities to make sure they're aware, and then we bring it to you. Your vote enables us to respond that we have no concerns about a project. So we don't respond until we hear from the board. That's our new method as of maybe like a year-ish ago. So do you want me to go over these individually, or do you want to vote as a whole, Judge?
I'm fine voting as a whole unless someone objects.
Okay. The next one is for the Community Ventures Corporation. This is a project, if you look at page 9, that would impact Gallatin, Grant, and Pendleton counties. This is something that would be for, sorry, I'm pretty sure it's a housing program through Community Ventures. So that one has the detail here in the other part. Yeah, it's through Kentucky Housing Corporation. So they are applying for $500,000 and then matching it over $761,000. So for a total of $1.2 million project. Clay Street sidewalk for the city of Carrollton is on page 16 of the packet, and the Narrows Road pedestrian infrastructure project for the city of Erlanger, that's on page 23. Does anybody have any questions about any?
I assume the staff supports all 4 of these projects.
We do.
If anyone wants to pull any of those forward to deal with separately, we can, but if there's no
Well, the
objection.
sidewalk project, that's really controversial.
We can walk through that. We have a motion to approve all 4. Is there a second? Yes, second, but for discussion. Hearing none. All in favor, aye. All opposed? That motion also passes. Community Ventures? Oh, I'm sorry.
That one is already.
Yeah, that was done. Go. Committee reports.
All right, I'll sit, Lisa.
That's right.
I was just going to remind everybody, February 12th is going to be a great day in Frankfurt. Everything that we go and ask for that day from our legislators, I'm sure is going to be approved. Yes. Yes. It is a great day. It's an opportunity to visit with your legislators, you know, giving them a phone call, made an appointment, or possibly just see them at lunch down in the basement. Hope you all don't miss it.
Yeah.
At least give your legislators a call. If you have to miss it, say we'll be there. We'll all be dressed alike and making our way through.
I'm going to be attending, so tell me how to dress.
I'm just kidding.
Right. Yeah, that is a great day when we do have like a day in Frankfurt, and with the Council of Ads from all across the Commonwealth, that can be impactful, and we hope it will be. Anything else on that?
Yes, sir.
So this is a good place for me to, during the executive committee today, Judge David Fields, who's our other rep from the Northern Kentucky Ad on the State Council of Ads, informed us that he is going to be stepping down from that position, representing the Northern Kentucky Ad. So we have the ability to fill that vacancy. And during the executive committee meeting, we talked about, you know, being able to get to Frankfurt. They are quarterly meetings, but sometime during the legislative session, there's need. And Mayor Adams is willing to serve in that capacity, representing this ad on the State Council of Ads in the place of Judge Fields. Judge Fields, did you want to make any comment? Yeah, it's just, I'm not running for reelection, for next year I'm actually retiring, so I figured this would be a good time that someone could step into that role and start learning that on this role, and that way they can continue it on in the next year too. So it's just a way of letting somebody else serve on that and getting a little experience and taking a little bit off my plate too, so. Thank you for serving and representing us. I appreciate your service. And Mayor Adams, any comments you want to make?
No, I just, I spent a lot of time in Frankfurt, geographically wise, it's only an hour for me, maybe a little more for some of you that are further north. So I think it's, quarterly meetings will fit my schedule. I'm willing to do it, and, I'll represent you well every opportunity I get.
Judge, right. The other thing I think we talked about is useful is there's a lot of judges that are part of that organization. And we thought it would be good to have a mayor to make sure there's some city representation as part of that as well.
That's right. So we should probably do a motion
I'll make
to,
a motion to appoint
Second.
Mayor Adams.
thank you, Judge. Thank you, Lisa, as a second. Further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. All opposed?
Thank you.
It is done. You can check that one off your list there, Judge. Thank you again for serving. Anything else on Council of Ads? All right. Executive Director's Report. Back to Tara.
Right. I have just a little bit of housekeeping and then a couple of kind of good news reports for the group. At your place, you should have received 2 statements of financial disclosure. This longer one is required for our ombudsman program. Just go ahead and fill it out today. Just go ahead, fill it out, hand it back in, easy peasy. If you're joining online and that's not possible, Amy, we'll still send it out to the whole board. So the email after this meeting, make sure everybody's got a copy. We need that back ASAP. Normally ombudsman, at the state level, they remind us and they're like, oh, we need it like tomorrow. So we need to go ahead and get that in. It's required for funding. So if you do see anything on there that you have questions about, we'll do our best to either interpret or connect you with someone at the state level if you have any concerns about that. Next is our annual call for just a statement of financial disclosure. Again, we're not looking, this is required as well for board members and actually for senior staff as well. Not looking for dollar amounts, looking for sources of income. It's a little shorter, but it's 2-sided, so it might be a little, but anyway, you can just go ahead and fill that out too. It's due April 1st, and you'll just feel like you just got something off your to-do list that you don't have to think about again. But Amy will send that one out too. We do need them both. I know, both of them. But here's the thing, they're going to 2 different places, so that's why. Okay, if you don't have any questions about that, I'll just move on to my pretty quick, actually, this month. It's fine that it's not a super long executive director report, but I'm happy to answer any other questions anybody has. Wanted to bring to your attention that we have 2 new grants. It's always nice to get additional funds, and it's certainly nice to be recognized for the work our team members do. So I am happy to share with you that the Greater Cincinnati Foundation did end up supporting us with $50,000 to finish the housing dashboard project that's been ongoing for a while. So very pleased about that. Also, if you didn't see the catalytic fund, we're getting new windows. That's what that is. Yeah.
I just saw that.
I was like, oh, what's going on behind me?
Is that an advertisement?
Very exciting though, because I was in my office yesterday and it was extraordinarily windy. And normally when it's windy outside, it used to be kind of windy inside too. And it wasn't. It's very quiet now in my office. It feels great, nice and warm. So very thankful to the board for approving the new windows.
Good timing with the weather forecast.
Yes, very much so. But anyway, back to grants. We also received a national RTAP, Rural Transit, I don't know, Community Rides grant. And it's only for $25,000, but this is a really great opportunity for us to pilot some of the work we're doing in the mobility space, helping our older adults get places that they want to go that are not paid for through Medicaid. So this initial, it's 25,000 is not a whole lot, especially when we're talking about technology, but we're going to be helping ProudWorks, formerly known as BayWAC, connect through technology opportunities with Owen County Public Transit, so that if the, bus breaks down or somebody has a change of, doctor's appointment, those happen, that hopefully they'll be able to connect with one another on the back end without sharing personal information. So it's a good opportunity to kind of test some of that middleware, as they call it, to make their two systems speak to one another. And it looks like this is going to set us up really well with some technical assistance at the national level, which we think will then position us well for future grants in this space. So very proud of it's a cross-division team that's been working on this. You've got Ivy Stites on the community development planning side, as well as Ryan Craig and Shannon Kelch on the aging and disability side. And then Adriana, who works in ADRC, really all coming together to solve what is actually a pretty technical and challenging problem with getting folks the rides that they need. So very proud of that. Also, just 3 more things. We, in our strategic plan that we talk about from time to time that you passed in 2024, one of the things that was one of the biggest call outs was, how does the ad understand your communities better, our communities better, right? How do we get out and really understand what people are looking for? So in order to, do a better job, even more comprehensive with our comprehensive economic development strategy, or SEDS, to help make sure we're applying for grants and notifying you of grants when they're available, because we know hopefully that you are looking for, again, whether it's a parks grant or a transportation grant or water, wastewater, or whatever. And so to do that, we got to get out. And so one of the multitude of techniques that we have created to do that are a series of community forums. So we kicked it off in Carroll County. We had over 50 people attend. We worked in partnership with 3CDC as well as Carroll County Fiscal Court and hosted it at JCTC Carrollton. It was the night before a huge snowstorm, so we weren't really sure what was going to happen. And it really was great. I mean, we ran out of space, which was totally fine. We made it work at JCTC. So excited to have that much community input. And then I think it was last week or maybe the week before, we had our second one in Gallatin County. There was a little bit of confusion in the news about what we were going to talk about, but that's okay, because we ended up having nearly 80 people come and share their ideas for where they want the community to head with regard to infrastructure planning. Happy to have them all. It really was a great time. So the next one is next Thursday in Grant County. Very excited to partner with Jamie and Judge Dills on that. And then I know we've actually scheduled the Owen County one twice, and it snowed both times, but we're going to make it happen. We want to get there. And then eventually we'll get to all the counties, but those are just where we got to start somewhere. So that's where we started.
Someone said this earlier, it's not scheduled for Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So, please everybody be careful with the upcoming weather. But anyway, I just wanted you all to know, and we did get in the news. So if you look up local 12, I think it was actually Fox and Channel 5 had some articles about or some segments about the Gallatin County one, which is kind of cool. So lastly, this is a new development, very, very new development. But normally the executive directors of all the ads, there's 15 area development districts. We get together monthly and we share knowledge about whether it's workforce development or aging and disability services. We, kind of divide and conquer some of these very technical programs and share each other's backgrounds. So I chair the Workforce Development Committee, and thankfully there's, Jarrett Haley and Michelle from Kentucky River Michelle Allen, who chair the, Aging and Disability Services one. And so they can share their knowledge and back and forth. Well, twice a year, we have longer meetings and we have kind of a retreat so that we can deep dive, really get into some more depth, because those other meetings are just, one day. So we were going to have it in Eastern Kentucky, and some challenges came with scheduling, and so it is moved to Northern Kentucky. I think it's the first time ever. I don't know, Jack, you might know, but I don't know of it ever having been in Northern Kentucky before. So May 13th through the 15th, we are going to be hosting all the other ad directors. So I mentioned this to this group because if you are somebody who would want to get in front of all the other ad directors or just come and witness kind of those conversations, you're certainly welcome. Just let me know. We're working with potential sponsors right now. So if you want to be a sponsor, let me know. Happy to have sponsors for things like, a reception. It looks like we are going to be able to have a box at the Reds game the night of May 13th. So super excited about that. It's probably 80% there as far as scheduling. And then we're going to get a tank bus donated to kind of drive the group around and show them like airport, some of the new developments in the area. Just wanted you to know, I'm honestly so excited to have everybody. I feel like a lot of times our colleagues don't always know everything that's great that's going on in Northern Kentucky. So very happy to be able to showcase our region. That is all I have for you today. But I'm happy to answer any questions about another topic that didn't come up yet.
All right. Any questions? Anything else to add?
Sure.
You good? Any other announcements from the group?
I don't have an announcement, but going back to the minutes, I noticed that I'm missing on the attendance, but I motioned in there, so if we want to fix that.
Yeah,
We can make that adjustment without.
I'll fix it. Sorry.
Thank you.
KLC Day is the 25th of February. We'll be down there for KLC Day for City Day and City Night. So not sure when Keiko is, but that's when ours is on the 25th.
All right. Thank you. See Angie's hand.
I just wanted to give a reminder that Tuesday, February 10th is BLG's budget workshop being hosted here at the ad. So if you haven't signed up already for that, you can sign up on our website. And if you need any assistance with that, just let me know. So it's Tuesday, February 10th, 9 to noon.
And if you look back in your email, we did send that link to you to the DLG website. But if you need it again, I'm sure Chris can get it to you as well if you don't want to navigate to it. Thank you, Angie, for the reminder.
I was looking for the Keiko and any county officials.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's the
it
day.
is. Yes, it is February the 11th. And it's at the Keiko building. All right. Any other announcements, Jack?
We'll leave a stack of business cards right here.
Yes, sir.
I want you all to know I do house calls, so I'll be coming to your courthouses and city buildings to come and talk to you. So Lord bless all of you.
Thank you. Any other announcements? Well, I've got 12:56, so we're ahead of the 1 o'clock schedule. There's no adjourn. Keeping us that way. Motion and a second. All in favor of adjournment, say aye. All opposed. Thank you. God bless. Stay safe this weekend.